our starting grid, where Harris Beach was on pole position from Chloe Jones, Lewis Jones in third. Ben Watson, Ryan Frost, Corey Tinker rounding out the top six. Max Hardy, Samuel Laidlow and Rossi Brown taking us through to 9th place. Then we have Ben Taylor, Fred McMullen, Taylor Rose in 12th position. Harry Cook and Kira Williamson rounding out the 14 riders in this first race of the day. The riders now making their way around the circuit on the formation lap. And they'll be underway in just a few moments' time. And of course, Chloe Jones in top form this weekend. One to look out for. We were speaking to her earlier. But this mini GP race is very competitive indeed. And this will be a great way to start the afternoon's racing off. We are slightly delayed, not by very much. There was one or two incidents this morning which has delayed the start slightly. So thank you for your patience, of course, and sticking with us. And we hope you enjoyed the interviews that myself and Matt did this morning. You might be seeing Matt later on for the on the grid walk. I think he's going down to the grid very shortly for the grid walk when the riders make their way back to the start. So the racing about to start in just a few moments with Mini GP race number 1. So the riders now lining up on the grid with Harris Beach, your pole sitter, setting 49.360 this morning. And very warm conditions today, of course, so might affect the riders when the racing gets underway. Very warm, as you're saying today, and the track looking in great condition. Absolutely no risk of showers whatsoever today, according to the wind forecast. Good luck to Ben Watson, says Paul Simpson, who's out in a later race today. And we've got the green flag for race number 1. Mini GP is about to get underway, and off they go. Looked like a good start from Ryan Frost round the outside there into the first corner. This drag race into the first corner.
Rider left on the line. That is that's one of the Jones boys.
I think it could be Lewis Jones.
Yes, Lewis Jones.
Slowly getting away.
He's got his bike started there. I think he must have just stalled it on the line.
So Ryan Frost with a good start, and looks like Chloe Jones in there in second place. Ben Watson also well positioned, but apart from Lewis Jones, who's right at the back of the field, he's finally got away with a very clean start. Everyone seems to have got away well. But Ryan Frost is your early race leader, trying to break away now from... looks like through to second now, then Chloe Jones, who stays in that second place. Harris Beach also in there as well. Ben Watson with a good start, and here they come out for the first time.
Don't forget, Ryan's on over 110, so he's only got 110cc in that bike. It's a smaller bike, smaller rider, so they're going to be pretty evenly matched for pace down the straight. So it's going to be interesting how they get on. I know that Chloe and Ryan are absolutely cracking friends off the track, but I know when these kids get on the track, those friendships kind of go out the window.
So Ryan Frost and Chloe Jones starting to break away now from the pole setter. Harris Beach in third place, and Chloe Jones just shadowing the rear wheel of number 24, Ryan Frost, only qualified in 5th place. Had a great jump from the start line though as he got away, and here he comes back towards the finish line now. Chloe Jones right on the rear wheel and trying to line up for a pass at the final corner. Oh, she changes her line down the straight. Ryan Frost looks over his shoulder, and Chloe Jones has lost the momentum slightly. Not quite close enough to get through under braking. Harris Beach still in third place from Ben Watson, Samuel Laidlow. Then Max Hardy a little bit further behind. Corey Tinker still rounding out the field. Number 76, Lewis Jones, 22 seconds down, as you can see, after that bad start. But Chloe Jones is starting to line up fastest lap of the race, 49.74, and she is really putting Ryan under some pressure.
Ryan actually was 49.9 on that lap, so Chloe's 2/10 quicker than him, so she's definitely catching. I think she's going to challenge in the next couple of laps.
These last few corners absolutely essential now for Chloe Jones, because she needs to get the exit right. Here comes Ryan Frost, the race leader, back to the finish, and Chloe Jones hanging off the rear wheel, trying to get a tow. And once again, down the straight she goes, has a look down the inside. Now is she going to get him under braking into the hairpin? And the answer
big
is
switch
no.
from
Ooh.
Ryan there. Big switch on the back end in the braking. You can see how hard he's braking in there. The front wheel must have just lifted up and lost traction on there coming into the corner.
Harris Beach still shadowing a bit further behind in third place, but all the action amongst these front two riders, Ryan Frost and Chloe Jones, neck and neck. There we see Beach just a little further behind, 2.94 seconds on the previous lap. And Chloe now just looking around the back wheel of Ryan Frost. Ryan, of course, has got the lead and coping very well with the pressure as they disappear into the final few corners. This is the most technical part of the track. As Harris Beach goes through in third place, Ben Watson just behind in fourth place. Down the straight they go, and at the front, Ryan Frost has started to break away slightly from Chloe Jones in second, only by a couple of tenths. Then we see the battle from third through to fifth. We've got Harris Beach, Ben Watson, Max Hardy, Samuel Laidlow, Corey Tinker, Rossi Brown in there as well. And back into the bus stop chicane. Oh, a bit of a twitch there from Ryan Frost. You can see he's really riding hard under the pressure from Chloe Jones in second place. And Jones trying to get through. Just looking for an opening. And at the moment, he might think that Chloe's just perhaps looking at Ryan's lines here, possibly. The race leader trying to get a more of an advantage out to the final corner, because that's where she's trying to outbrake him into the first corner. Here they come back down the straight, and Ryan Frost, your race leader, just about doing enough to hold on to the lead and prevent the outbraking maneuver from Chloe Jones down the inside. So it's as you were at the front. Corey Tinker moving up, getting past Samuel Laidlow as they go down the straight. Here they come, and Rossi Brown there battling away with Laidlow, and looks like he's gone through up into seventh place. So great start for this mini GP, the first race of the day, and still at the front. Here we see Ryan Frost and Chloe Jones really battling away as they make their way down towards the final corner. And a bit of a shout out here for the fourth place rider, Ben Watson, who's running strongly. Keeping the pressure on Harris Beach in third. We'll see him coming into shot in a few moments as Chloe Jones has a look, trying to find an opening down the inside, and Ryan Frost is leaving his braking very late into that hairpin.
The top 6 riders are all within three.
We've had a red flag. Red flag has been displayed, so we're just going to determine what's happened. There's been an incident down by the final corner, so the race has been stopped, unfortunately. Red flag situation. You can see the riders easing off pace. Here's the incident, and the rider's gone big style into the tyre barriers and currently on the floor. And there we see the medics already on the scene doing a great job. So green machine that was that went down. Not too sure who that rider is, so we won't try and identify them just yet.
That looks to me like maybe looks like maybe Taylor Rose.
So it could be Taylor Rose has gone down. That's on the final corner as the medics make their way off to the scene. Very, very prompt action for the medics, and don't want to take any chances. The race red flagged in the interest of safety due to an incident, we believe, to Taylor Rose. So we'll leave things for a few moments. We'll just keep you up to date with what's happening with the rerun of this race. So here we are at the first race of the day here at Fulbeck. An incident on the final corner to, we believe, Taylor Rose, just behind our cameras here. And the race has been red flagged in the interest of safety. We'll continue just as soon as we get the all clear from the medics with, we believe, 4 laps remaining. Next race, of course, is the Pit Bike Stock 160 Group A. Just been told the rider's up, so we believe it's Taylor Rose. And Wayne Binks has made Matt Pierce's day here. This is better than actual BSB racing. So Matt's got a very nice smile on his face at the moment.
Yeah, I like that.
You're delighted with that one, aren't you?
Absolutely chuffed to bits with that one. And look at that shot there. I mean, that's a really nice shot of the mini GP bikes, and you can see they are a proper trip bit of kit. You can see Harris Beach number 83 in the middle there, and then Chloe Jones just to his right You've got Ben Watson bike number 120, the red and white bike. You can see these are really well turned out bits of kit. You know, the parents and the riders, you know, they spend a huge amount of time making sure these bikes are absolutely pristine. And yeah,
and of course, when you go down into the paddock and actually look at these bikes close up, they've got the fairings and the decals on them. They do resemble full-on BSB or GP bikes, don't they?
Yeah, as I said earlier on, you can walk around the paddock. You know, it's you can come into the paddock. You can go into the awnings, obviously with the riders and parents' position permission. But you can go into the awnings. You can have a look around the bikes and ask people questions, and you know, and learn about them. And there's not many motorsports which give you that opportunity.
The other thing, of course, a lot of these riders who are on the track right now, they might have started in the same way, just coming along to one of these meetings, asking a few people some questions about the meeting, and a very accessible way to get into the racing. So they go from spectator to rider quite easily.
Yeah, and we just had a bit of message coming through that the rider is up. There was a little bit of brake failure, and you know, coming into that hairpin chicane as you're coming past the paddock, you're not hard on the brakes, but it's a hot day. It's very, very humid. We did have a brake failure on a CRF 150 this morning, and so hopefully they won't be cooking the brakes too much. But you can see the riders out there. That's big Carl Baines on the right-hand side doing his job very well. Thank you very much, Carl.
And this is just a case of clearing up the debris, really. Doesn't look like there's any sort of fluid on the track by the looks of things. It's purely the debris, isn't it?
There's no sawdust down, I don't think. Sawdust? No oil down, I don't think. But yeah, go back onto the bikes and the paddock and the opportunity to have a look around. They are a very, very trick bit of kit. We've talked about these mini GPs in the past, and the great thing about those bikes is they've got absolutely, other than maybe a fuel ignition because of the carburetic and maps and such like, but all the geometry and all the setup on those bikes is exactly what you get on the big bike. You know, you've got compression and rebound on the forks. You've got preload, compression and rebound on the shock. You've got an adjustable pivot point of the rear shock. You've got adjustable rake on the fork, so you can really spend time setting these bikes up and getting them straight. And we've had a bike come in saying what makes these bikes even. The smaller riders, bikes should only have a weight advantage. That's true. Yeah, obviously smaller riders do have a weight advantage. We don't encourage our bigger riders to smaller riders to wear weight belts because that may be a bit of a problem. But yeah, smaller riders do have an advantage, obviously, because they are a lower powered machine. But I know for a fact a lot of our bigger riders, they just ride the wheels off it. They just push that a little bit harder. And when you're a bigger rider, strangely, you can actually get on the gas a little bit earlier.
I suppose that's the sense to getting the grip out the corners.
Yeah,
really.
because they're putting that much weight, a bit more weight down on the tarmac. You can actually get on the gas. I mean, I've spoken about Danny Underwood before and his riding technique. I mean, that guy's 6'4". You know, he's a big old fella, and but his technique is absolutely impeccable. You know, if he lost a couple of stone, you know, he'd be leaps and bounds in front of most people, I think. But if you look at him, he's absolutely wide open. You know, if you follow him when you're out on the track with him, if you watch him on the live streams, he's absolutely cracked open, coming out of the corners or before anyone else, and so they can carry that much more corner speed.
I think a big word of thanks, just to change the subject slightly there, to Patrick O'Connor. Great job on the commentary, and we've got a shout out here for Lewis Jones, who's running strongly so far. But like you were saying there, Matt, of course, with the weight advantage, I know I'm experienced with karting and motocross as well. Karting can be very much a jockey sport where the weight makes ballast sometimes on some of the endurance races. What you're saying about the motocross there, that can be different, the same as well, because I commentate on a lot of youth races where you might have 13, 14-year-olds who all grow at different rates and so on. So you've got bigger riders, smaller riders, and sometimes those bigger riders do have an advantage.
What we are going to do next season, though, we're not going to do it for the juniors and heavies and lights, because you can see it's relatively even racing. But for the seniors, because obviously with the veterans and still running the stock classes and some of the bigger guys running the stock classes, we are going to run a heavies class in the stocks. So if you're over 15 stone, you'll still score points in the normal championship. You'll still score points in the normal run-of-the-mill things, but we're also going to have a heavies table.
It's almost something of a subdivision, really.
Yeah, exactly. Just an additional point scoring system, which allows the guys who don't have that weight advantage to be recognised, because they said they absolutely ride the wheels off these bikes, and they said technically they are some of the best riders in the paddock, and I think it's important that those guys get recognised.
I would say, actually, that's not a bad idea, because I know with the karting, I compete with a club called Rugby Kart Club, so a bit of a shameless promotion there for Rugby Kart Club. But some of the races they do in the karting world, they'll have a lightweight, medium weight and heavyweight class, because the karts are very even, and the weight can make quite an advantage to the lighter drivers. So I think by introducing a separate class within the stocks for the heavy riders, I think it really will add to the racing for those riders.
Yeah, we're not too worried about weights, but we're obviously not as wimpy as people in karts. So we just crack on and we just get it done.
I think Alan Carter better not look. We just seen a message come through.
I don't know either. We'll have to get him on the scales. I'm sure they appreciate that. Put a scrutineer and get him weighed like a jockey when they come after the race.
So here we go. We've got the rerun now, the continuation of the Mini GP. Flag drops and away they go. Oh, and a big start there for Chloe Jones. The front end loops out. And Ben Watson.
He's made a fantastic start. He's got out in front of Chloe.
So Ryan Frost, cool, calm and collected. Ben Watson. Oh, they're tight into that first corner. Watson holds on to that second place from Chloe Jones. And Chloe Jones a little bit eager off the start there. We saw the front end rising in the air, and that little bit of a lull there from Chloe Jones drops her down to third. Looks like Harry Beach has got away well. Another good clean start. No incidents. And this restart could be good news for... Just looking on the lap chart to see where he is. Looks like Lewis Jones now through to 11th place. And, of course, with the race being halted before, that allows him to get back into the field. So a bit of luck there for Lewis Jones. He'll be looking to take full advantage of this as the leaders make their way round on the continuation of the rerun of the Mini GP. This is the last part of the race. Of course, it was halted before due to the incident involving Taylor Rose, who we're told is perfectly okay.
And Max Hardy is actually in 4th place at the moment. He's battled his way right up from 7th place. So he's having a cracking race. He's actually just got past Ben Watson into 3rd. So Max having a cracking race there.
Max actually, he's had a good season so far. He's been picking his way through the field and he's always there or thereabouts. So great ride so far for Hardy, up to 4th place just behind Ben Watson. There we see Watson. Very distinctive orange and black machine. Looks like one of the old retro Hondas, that bike almost, you might say.
Ben also raced in the Junior Supermoto 140, if I can get my words out. So he'll be out later on this afternoon on the pit bikes as well.
And actually, it's a bit of a coincidence there. Commentator on Ben Watson in the world of motocross. He's the current leader of the MX2 British Championship, so it's a bit of a famous name somewhat. And another Ben Watson, of course, here at British Mini Bikes.
Yeah, and looking at Max coming into that top right hand, he looked like he had Chloe on the brakes there. He definitely closed a little bit, but I know that Max's dad had a few problems with. Well, they had a bit of problem with the bike. They had to do a full top end reader board on that bike yesterday, so it's great to see he's actually out there racing.
1 second covering the top 3 riders last time they went out, and Max Hardy is getting involved in this race. He's starting to close up on Chloe Jones, who in turn has reeled in the machine of Ryan Frost, your race leader. And Max Hardy trying to close up on Chloe Jones. Here they come back down the straight. Ryan Frost fending these 2 riders off. Max Hardy, there he is as the checkered flag's about to go. Oh, there's almost side by side over the line, but Ryan Frost holds on to take the checkered flag from Chloe Jones in 2nd. Max Hardy fighting through to 3rd. Ben Watson in 4th.
The top 3 were covered by less than a second.
That was close, wasn't it?
That was less than a second. Chloe was 11 tenths of a second behind Ryan, and Max Hardy, who had an absolutely cracking race. He was 0.75 behind Ryan. So, brilliant racing there. Right, we have Chloe Jones and Lizzie Whitmore. They're some of the 2 young girls that raced the BMB. Chloe, I think you're nearly a household name now, really, aren't you? All the Twitter followers and social media, it's brilliant. But Chloe, you race in the Mini GP class, don't you? I know a lot of our viewers will see you out on the bike. You know, your bikes always turn out absolutely fantastic. You know, I think your mum and your dad do a fantastic job. But from a ride's perspective, how do you feel the season's going for you?
Yeah, it's going all right. I'm still leading the championship, even though I missed a round because my mum booked a holiday. and last round I crashed. I got back on, and I finished 8th.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of a crash at Landau on that right-hander. What happened to it? Was just the front end tuck, did it? Or?
I was trail braking because I went too fast into the corner, and I just drove up.
I've tried to stop doing that. My front end will just disappears from underneath me if I try to trail brake. I'm obviously not good enough.
Yeah.
So you're on the mini GP at the moment. Do you think you're gonna, because you got a pit bike as well?
Yeah.
Do you think you're gonna stay with the GP style? Are you gonna go on to pit bike? What do you think you're gonna
stay
do?
with the mini GP because I'm not as good as on the pit bike.
No. And what's your plans for future? Do you think?
If we have the funds, we might be going to the 300 Ninja 300s.
Brilliant. Is that with Besme?
BMB, yeah.
Bemsey, sorry.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Have you got a ride sorted out already, or a bike sorted out already, or is that
No.
No. He's going to take it as it comes, really.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fantastic. We'll bring Lissy in. If you can pass over. We're going to just swap round a little bit. Now, Lissy.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm alright.
You having fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and you bought an IMR. Is it start of the year?
Yeah, near Easter time-ish, yeah.
Yeah. Me and you have done some work together on it, haven't we?
Mhm.
How are you getting on with it?
It's alright. Today I have to change the tyres because I'm not getting as fast as I thought I'd actually need to be. But yeah, other than that, it's good.
What tyres are you running?
Maxis.
Yeah. Is the front end a bit choppy, is it?
Haven't really noticed.
Answers that question, isn't it, really? So, so me and you've done some training, haven't we, at Stretton?
Yep.
Are you getting knee down on the right-hand side yet? Are you leaning off a little bit more?
Yesterday I have been getting my knee down
Yeah.
here. But at Stretton it's like an inch from, yeah.
Yeah, I can remember you were just leaning off, absolutely perfect style, left-hand side, but as soon as you came around the right-hand corner, you just bolted up right, weren't you? You weren't moving at all. Like you were glued to the seat. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're having fun, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are your mum and dad enjoying it? Where are they?
Yeah, they're going and get new tyres. But yeah, mum and dad are enjoying it. This is mum's first meeting she's seen. My grandparents are here as well, so.
Are they nervous?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Can you give them a message and say, don't worry.
Yeah.
Right. I'm having fun.
I'm having fun.
Do you think they're watching?
No. Well, they will later though.
Right. Well, good luck for today. Obviously, this is your first season.
Yeah.
I hope you do well. Right, thanks a lot for your time. I will pass that. Shake your hands. Thank you very much. Hello and welcome to the studio. Yeah, with some very special guests before the next race. Come to you first, Kyle. You had a massive accident, didn't you, at Landau? It was a big one. Tell us what happened, and we've got a couple of minutes. But tell us what happened and how you feel it.
Well, I was coming up to the last corner, and I was side by side with another bike, and he was on the brakes and moved in front, and I had to go hard on the brakes and went over the front. The bike followed me and landed on my legs.
Okay. So are you kind of walking but on crutches at the moment?
Yeah.
Are you all road to recovery going okay?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know we've had a lot of response through Facebook asking how you are, and I thought I'd bring you up here to show everyone, yeah, he's okay, he's all right. So, more important, are you going to be back racing?
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, and bikes are out on track now, so very quickly comes very quickly to Harris Beach. Harris races the Mini GP UK, or Mini GPs, but races for Mini GP UK, and you've seen Harris out today. Harris, you've done really well today. You got podium on the last one, didn't you? How's today gone for you?
Well, we had a few problems with the bikes today and yesterday. We've had a big off yesterday, just a few bruises and cuts, but nonetheless, just smashed up bike. So Dad's my mechanic fixed all that up for me, because as dads do, and then went out today and just didn't go so well in the first race after the restart, but the second race went back out there and pretty much redeemed myself. Yeah,
you've done really well, and you both race for Mini GP UK, which is a team which runs winning the British Mini Bikes, and you're a proper little family, aren't you? So the bikes are just coming up on the grid now for the second Vets race, so I want to say thank you very much for spending your time with us. Congratulations on today's races.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for coming up, and I hope you feel better, mate. All right, and back to the action.
Harry Cook and Kira Williamson a little bit further behind, and Corey Tinker at the moment out of the race on the first corner. So Ryan Frost going to close back up. It looks like Corey Tinker is up and walking away, so hopefully he'll have the track cleared this time round. Here they come down the straight. Now it's a clean track, and Ryan Frost having a look down the inside of Chloe Jones. They're under braking, and Ryan Frost retakes the lead, or takes the lead I should say. He hasn't led this race so far. Let's see if Chloe Jones can fight back. They go through into the bus stop chicane, and Ryan Frost holds on. In third, it's still Ben Watson. Lewis Jones in fourth. Max Hardy running out the top 5. Chloe Jones has another look round the outside of Frost as they come up towards the finish line, and Frost holding on to the lead. Into the final few corners they go. And it's all very close with the top 5 as Chloe Jones, our new race leader, with Ryan Frost charging through around the outside, holding on to that lead. And Jones trying to look down the inside. Up to third though goes Lewis Jones down the inside of Ben Watson. And looks like Jones has made the pass stick. So Lewis Jones up to third place. Ben Watson in fourth. Lewis Jones not too far behind. Just around at the top 10 then. Ryan Frost leads from Chloe Jones. Ben Watson now through with Lewis Jones into third place from Ben Watson. Max Hardy. There's Max Hardy just a bit further behind there in fifth place. Harris Beach looks like he's gone through into fifth place actually. So Harris Beach through into fifth place from Max Hardy as Ryan Frost leads the way up towards the final few corners. Chloe Jones starting to line up Ryan Frost for a pass into the top corner, but Frost riding very well and blocking the lines into the top corner. And look at this battle now with Ben Watson, who's dropped a couple of places and coming under pressure from Max Hardy in sixth place. Harris Beach is back on the move, left Ben Watson behind and starting to close up on Lewis Jones. The top 2 starting to break away now, Ryan Frost and Chloe Jones into the final few corners. Still with a clear track in front of them as Chloe Jones starts to close up on Ryan Frost. Still that battle of a third place though. With Lewis Jones and Ben Watson, they make their way up towards the final corner. And Chloe Jones starting to line Ryan Frost up for the pass. Gets a great run out to the final corner. And they are side by side down the straight. But she can't quite get close enough to Ryan Frost to go for the pass. And Frost holds on to the lead. The battle now for third. Oh, as Harris Beach had a look down the inside of Lewis Jones, but outbraked himself somewhat. And it looks like Harris Beach has made the pass stick though. So it's still Ryan Frost and Chloe Jones battling for the lead, but that battle for third still raging there with Harris Beach now into third place. Then we have Lewis Jones, Ben Watson and Max Hardy. A little bit further down on the edge of the top 10, it's Samuel Laidlow, Rossi Brown, Ben Taylor, Fred McMillan. Fred McMillan in 10th place, Harry Cook and Kira Williamson just a little bit further behind, and Corey Tinker out of the race on the first corner. It looked from our commentary points like Tinker was okay. So once again, Chloe Jones trying to get down the inside of Ryan Frost. And Frost starting to have a look now. Looks like Chloe has made the pass stick out of the first corner into the bus stop. And Harris Beach is starting to get involved in third place, number 83, closing up on Ryan Frost. So these top 2 riders starting to battle a bit now and slow each other down, and this is allowing Harris Beach to close back up and get involved in this battle. Down into the final few corners they go. And Chloe Jones looking to hold on to the lead and make their way up towards the final corner. Back marker on the racing line, moves to one side though and lets the leader, so that's Kira Williamson who lets those faster riders through. But Ryan Frost has a look on the outside, but not close enough to make the pass stick. Chloe Jones holds on to the lead. Harris Beach is still shadowing in third place. They come down to bus up. Oh, as Ryan Frost down the inside tried to go for the pass. But Chloe Jones is made of sterner stuff and holds on to the lead. What a great looking move there though from Ryan Frost. That would have been very brave going into bus stop. And Harris Beach, look at him there, number 83, still shadowing in that third place. And Harris Beach wants to get involved in this one. He knows the lead is up for grabs. Ryan Frost, though, now trying to line up Chloe Jones into the final corner. Harris Beach in his slipstream as well. Here they go down the straight. Chloe Jones holds on to the lead, but Ryan Frost is closing all the time. And, oh, again, he tries to go for the pass into the top corner, but doesn't quite make the pass stick. And Chloe Jones holds on to the lead. Here they come back into the bus stop. Are we going to see any more heroics from Ryan Frost? Oh, he tried to find a gap, but Chloe Jones knew he was there, had the line covered. Harris Beach has now broke away and is on this battle for third place. Lewis Jones, Max Hardy and Ben Watson fall through to sixth place, a little bit further behind. But Chloe Jones holds on to the lead. Ryan Frost has a look down the inside. Harris Beach still there in third place. And Jones making her way around the final few corners. Ryan Frost still coming under pressure from Harris Beach in third. And here they come down the straight. Ryan Frost gets a great run out of the final corner. Time makes the pass stick down the outside. Oh, but he outbreaks himself. And Matt Pearce is back with us now.
I managed to get myself a burger now. I thought I was going to pass out for a second.
So Ryan Frost momentarily takes the lead, but outbreaks himself, and Chloe Jones goes back into the lead. And the man to look out for still, Harris Beach in third place.
He just sat there, isn't he? Waiting to pounce with these two, make a mistake.
Now, of course, earlier in the race, of course, Harris Beach was in the battle with Lewis Jones, Max Hardy, Ben Watson. He's up to the lead group now, and the thing is, Chloe Jones and Ryan Frost, they have been getting in each other's way somewhat, allowing Harris Beach to close up, and 2 laps to go. This could be a real factor in these closing stages.
Yeah, so I think Harris should just wait and see if they trip themselves up and he can capitalise and get the win. It's last lap, one round.
So it looks like Ryan Frost is still in second place. For some reason, not coming through on the transponder loop, but nonetheless, he is, as you can see, still second on the track. And this one very, very close in these final stages. Ryan Frost now right on the rear wheel of Chloe Jones. The lap board is now being readied for our leader. Come back to the finish line. Chloe Jones pulls away slightly going into the final chicane. But Ryan Frost and Harris Beach closing up on the braking. Here they come back towards us. Chloe Jones, Ryan Frost, Harris Beach as close as that. 1 lap to go. And Ryan Frost there, not quite close enough to get in the slipstream. Harris Beach still in there as well, though.
Just look at the fitness though of Ryan. He's running 2 classes. He would have done what? 2 practice sessions this morning, 2 qualifying sessions. He's already done 2 races all down the inside. Has a good look down there. We can see the front back end just stepping out a little bit. You know, but what fitness though from these young kids.
And of course, these weather conditions, it's very hot and humid here today at Fulbeck, so very tough for the riders. And Ryan Frost certainly not giving up. Here they come back into view. 2 more corners to go for him. Chloe Jones looking to hold on. Harris fading away on this final lap.
Harris may have a little bit of a problem. He's looking down at his bike coming out that hairpin.
So here they come round the final few corners, and Chloe Jones needs to get this run out to the final corner. Ryan Frost has a look, but it's too late. Takes the checkered flag, and a Superman there over the line from Harris Beach in third. Chloe Jones winning the race by 2.13 seconds, and she really had to work hard for that one.
I think.
Oh yes,
sorry. I think young Ryan Frost's transponder stopped working.
So Ryan Frost in second.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was about to say actually, as soon as I said
less
that.
than 2.13 seconds.
That's Harris Beach, of course, my mistake. And Chloe Jones and your race leader race winner, I should say, from Ryan Frost in second. And that was a very, very close battle at the end.